Welcome back to Sympathies PHUN. So I'm going to go over DWAC, CFVI, PHUN, and MARK. We had major news with DWAC and CFVI. I'm going to go over exactly what has to happen for each one of these stocks to continue on up, and what exact levels are we trying to hold up to make sure we do not continue on down. And all I ask in return for all of this is you smash that like button, and I do welcome you to the Instables room in the description below. If you happen to be interested in intraday perspective breakouts, if you're looking for that secret spot that has all that pre-market news before market open every single day, go to instables.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout alert today again. So let's jump into this one. So I'm going to go over DWAC with you guys here on the daily chart, and again, PHUN, MARK, CFVI are all predicated on DWAC continuing on up, and I know CFVI had news today, but that does not mean that CFVI is going to continue on up. We definitely need the strength of DWAC to help CFVI continue on up, in my opinion. Now, before I get started, again, I do welcome you to the Instables room in the description below. We mentioned pre-market news before market open every single day. Most breakouts have been pre-market news in the open. Any halts worth looking at throughout the day, or any major breakout alerts worth looking at throughout the day, I assure you, you will never miss one throughout the day. Again, go to instables.com in the description below. Now, as you guys can see here on DWAC on the daily chart, as you guys can see yesterday, we did draw a symmetric triangle. I did call this a descending wedge yesterday. I wasn't paying attention, but we were looking to see if we can continue on past this triangle that we did have, and sure enough, we did break above it. We did mention that we did need to break above $100 to get that major breakout, and as you guys can see, we did not break over $100. We do have that rejection to the upside because, again, we did get that news at the end of the day. Now, if we did not get that news at the end of the day, in my opinion, we could have possibly broke over $100, but we wouldn't have had that confirmation that we did mention with this buy pressure breaking above our previous buy pressure points on the 4-hour chart. This is the daily time frame, but as you guys can see, we don't have as much buy pressure as we were looking for to break above our previous buy pressure points on the 4-hour chart. Now, the reason why DWAC did pull back in the middle of the day is because Trump Media Technology announced that Truth Social, their app that was expected to be launched on February 21st of this month, is now expected to be launched on March 31st. So we will be waiting another month for a possible launch. And as you guys can see, we did get this pullback. We got this wick to the upside on the daily chart because of that pullback. And as you guys can see on the 1-hour chart, I wanted to show you guys exactly what we are looking for to have a bounce back. Now, as you guys can see, we are testing the top of our descending wedge. On the 1-hour chart, we are looking to see if we can wick and possibly come back up and reclaim our descending wedge to possibly respect it. If we cannot jump back above and respect and retest and continue on up over $100, in my opinion, we could come back down. And we do have a level that we want to make sure we can hold here at about $72. And the reason why is, as you guys can see, we had previous consolidation, we had a previous continuation from here. And this level would also be DWAC trying to respect the symmetric triangle to see if we can respect it. In my opinion, there's no rush into this play until we do get more consolidation for that possible breakout leading into next month. Now, if we do not respect this level at $72 and we do come back down and drop below our symmetric triangle and we do not respect it, then in my opinion, we could come back down and respect our previous levels that we had consolidation at about $60. So if we did drop down below $72, then in my opinion, I would be expecting to test $60. Now, lastly, if we are trying to respect this level and we are looking to see exactly where we could break out above $100, then in my opinion, I would be drawing our fib extension here. And as you guys can see, I would be drawing it over from the bottom to the top here and then measuring to the bottom of our pullback here. And in my opinion, as you guys can see, if we do break over $100, which would be our 0.05 Fibonacci line, which lines up exactly perfect, breaking over $100, then I would be targeting 117 from there. And again, if we are investing into a long-term play with DWAC, of course, this is only trading perspective. If we are investing into long term, then in my opinion, like I said, if we are going to be looking to see if we can go long term, then we will be looking to see if we can respect these levels to possibly have a bounce back. But if we are intraday, then I would be looking to see if we can break out from $100 to 117. Now, I'll jump into PHUN with you guys here real quick so you guys can see what we're looking at here. Now, as you guys can see here on PHUN, we did have this continuation on down, but as you guys can see here, we did get our invert head and shoulder, which gave us this reversal. As you guys can see, we have our shoulder, and then we have our head, and then our shoulder here, showing us a nice invert head and shoulder breakout here. But as you guys can see, we are testing our previous consolidation and continuation on down. So again, with DWAC continuing on down, I would be expecting the same thing to happen with PHUN. As always, PHUN is a sympathy to DWAC, and the reason why, again, is because PHUN is a software that Trump had used in his election previously, and so the speculation play would be that Trump Media Technology would be using PHUN as a possible software for their Truth Social app. So here with PHUN, I would be looking to see if we can at least reclaim that 335 level that we could not hold above today. And again, breaking over that 335 level will be very key. As you guys can see, we do have our previous rejections to the upside and also our previous gap downs. So again, that's a very key level. You guys can see we consolidated. We also bounced off of having our major breakout from exactly this level. So no surprise that we got rejected here. But again, we are going to make sure we are careful here, making sure we do reclaim 335 is exactly what I would be looking for here. Now, jumping into MARK, I haven't mentioned this one, the Instabills, in very much because this one isn't as volatile as PHUN. I like PHUN a lot better than MARK, but as you guys can see, almost a similar situation here with their invert head and shoulder. As you guys can see, we do have our shoulder and then our head, and then we have our shoulder that plays out here, and then we do have our spike, and very similar. As you guys can see, we are testing our previous consolidation bounces that we had here on MARK and getting rejected just to the upside, just like PHUN. So very similar on MARK, not as volatile as I like on PHUN. So I haven't mentioned this one in Instablism as much, but I definitely like PHUN and DWAC when we have those major breakouts. Now lastly, I'm going to do CFVI. CFVI is very key because, again, CFVI had major news today. CFVI's CEO mentioned to Joe Rogan today that he would give Joe Rogan $100 million over 4 years to join Rumble, a non-censorship social media app. So CFVI got a major breakout from this. We mentioned this in the Instables room. Now, as you guys can see here on the 1 hour chart again, as you guys can see, we do have our previous consolidation and our rejection to the upside at about $14. And as you guys can see, we did come back down and bounced exactly off of that. That is exactly what happened here. That's exactly why we bounced exactly off of this. As you guys can see, we could not hold the body of the candle above these levels. And as you guys can see, we are bouncing almost exactly at this level, about $15. So we could have played that bounce if we were looking at intraday perspective bounces. But as you guys can see here, this is going to be a very key level. We want to make sure we can hold this $15 level, in my opinion, if we are going to be looking for a bounce back. Now, jumping into the 5-minute with you guys, as you guys can see, we have a large increase in sell volume. And in my opinion, again, CFVI is a sympathy to DWAC, and in my opinion, we are getting a major pullback because of DWAC's pullback. So we would be looking to see if we can either hold this level here at about $15, or we are going to continue on down, just like we may see with DWAC and PHUN and MARK. Now, again, with that said, making sure we do justify all of our breakouts is extremely key. And again, if you happen to be interested in intraday perspective breakouts, go to instabulls.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout like that again. And all of you instabulls that have been coming over and supporting the channel, all of you instabulls that have been coming over from the room and supporting the channel, I appreciate everyone. You guys, much love to everyone. You guys, an amazing day that we had today. We are looking to see if we can continue on with that momentum, but again, we do have CPI inflation reports coming out on Thursday, so we could see a little more choppy volume leading into that date. We'll see exactly what happens here. And again, if you guys do like this video, it does help other people find it, and it does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in pre-market.